looks like we're going. Let's tweet this out. Hello, anyone who has just popped in. I can't see your messages quite yet. We're live doing a cozy little tabletop RPG DM prep / world building stream. Come hang out and spend time with your pal Branners. Okay. Okay, so as the title says, this is going to be probably relatively chill. Basically, as a quick introduction for what's happening here, I have been in quite the tabletop mood for, well, a while now. I feel like I keep saying this about stuff, but you know, I thought it would be fun to actually have a little bit of this streamed, just to show you guys kind of what I get up to sometimes when I'm putting together these fun-filled adventures. So, what's going on here? What we have here is actually my next project that I'm going to be doing after we're done with Season 2 of Blades in the Dark. I still need to edit together. I need to finish editing and putting up the first season of our Blades in the Dark actual play. It's taken me some time, I know, but I figured out a recording method that will make concurrent tabletop stuff a lot easier to record and edit and get put out for y'all on a more consistent basis. Thankfully, I just need to get over this initial hurdle. So, what I want to do after we're done with the world of Kakaros and everything fun going on in our Daggers and Moonlight Blades of the Dark actual play thing, which is fun. Go watch Daggers and Moonlight if you haven't already. I know there's only like so many episodes of it out, but I feel like they're a blast. We're about 1/4 of the way through that season, so I need to get to it and upload our 4th session. So, what I want to do after this, though, is I actually want to run an OSR campaign. If you're unfamiliar with tabletop stuff, basically OSR stands for Old School Renaissance, and it is essentially a throwback movement to the early days of the earlier editions of Dungeons & Dragons, while still also kind of carrying forward its legacy and kind of doing its own thing. It's not just D&D. Like, for example, the game I want to... yes, hi, Dissy. The game that I want to run is going to be called Worlds Without Number. I say it's going to be called as if it's not fucking out or if it's whatever, but the game I want to run is called Worlds Without Number, which is essentially a throwback to the first edition of D&D, but with more unique rules that kind of clean things up, a little bit easier to understand as a rule set. Also makes it pretty easy for you to flip through, and it also kind of has more of a I don't want to say post-apocalyptic setting, but the intended setting of Worlds Without Number, they kind of leave it up to you. But the idea behind it is that it's more of like a far into the future, like things have wrapped back around so that advanced science has kind of become magic. I'm just going with more of like a typical fantasy setting. I don't really want that for at least this game. Yeah, OSR is pretty cool. I have very limited experience running it. I honestly, the one time I ran OSR, I didn't even realize what I was doing was running OSR. I was running Stars Without Number, which is actually the first game that this guy made before Worlds Without Number. And I had a really, really good time with that. They're very lethal. They're very free-flowing and kind of built for having more of a sandbox-oriented approach if you want to do them. Thus, you can kind of see I have the hex map going on here. Is my cursor being captured? Yes, it looks like it is. Okay. So, yeah, kind of what I have as an idea is we're going to start, when we run this campaign, kind of in this greater region of this empire here, which I've kind of... in the back of my mind, this is like an empire that consists of 3 kingdoms that are kind of divided, like one right, like one kind of to the south like this, that covers like the capital and just everything kind of going diagonally down. And then there's like a mountain range that it causes this great separation, then everything to the left of that and everything to the right of that. And I feel like this kingdom in my mind's eye is probably like the boonies. Like this is kind of the country bumpkin part of the world. Your friend's been running an OSE game. It's been a good time. I honestly considered OSE was the other thing I really wanted to try running. There's just enough about Worlds Without Number that I really like Worlds Without Number's travel mechanics, and I really like they have a thing called shock damage, where if you don't hit the enemy's AC, but you hit just enough below it, like I can't remember it, but like everything has like a target number for dealing shock damage, basically, where you don't actually get a square hit on them, but you still do a minimal amount of damage because of the shock of the blow, and it just kind of speeds up combat a little bit, which interests me, and I feel like is something fun that I would have a really good time with. So, actually what I did end up doing is I built out this world. Let's scroll here. I'm using, this is Asgar's fantasy map generator, by the way, which is honestly a pretty damn good generator. You know, DMing stuff, you're gonna end up using a lot of stuff like generators and whatnot, just to help you get ideas and all that. I am a little shocked how little work I've had to do using this generator with getting a world that I'm very happy with. This map gives very good results. You can overlay, it's a very powerful tool, like you can overlay this grid on it and stuff like that too. Like I think, I can't remember, I gotta change this should be Age of Empires, or I decided I didn't want to go with eras and I want to go with ages because it sounds a little more fun. But yeah, you can change around like all of this stuff, and I can't remember where exactly I was going before to change the style of the... Oh yeah, this is what I was doing. I think you can select grid and you can change all the opacity and how many hexes you want. Kind of change up the scale. It's very cool. So what I ended up doing is I kind of selected this part of the map to go in. In my mind, this Solarian Empire is a human and gnome superpower, primarily. I do kind of like having the fantasy setting be very, you know, I do like having it more diverse and spread apart. Like, you can find all of the main primary fantasy races of my setting just anywhere in the world. I just think things are more interesting that way, personally. And, what I've kind of thought is that the Kingdom of Altera over here, this is kind of where humans came from. The Kingdom of Cassia is the gnome homeland. And then this point up here was kind of a convergence point where they both met. And these three states kind of came out of it, with the Solarian Empire in recent years becoming one of the major players in the geopolitical landscape, along with the Elorian Empire and the holy state of Bagoldia over here, which is a bunch of religious fanatic dwarves, at least the ones in power. Heck yeah, gnomes, yeah. Honestly, I have been on a little bit of a gnome kick recently, and I entirely blame Final Fantasy XI for getting this started for me. Pretty much because the Tarutaru are great. I started in the Tarutaru village when I did my little stint with FF11. And they're just funny little guys, and I thought that it'd be fun to include them. Honestly, I've been doing a lot of stuff that I've kind of wanted to change up in a lot of ways how typical fantasy races are portrayed, or not even necessarily like portrayed, I guess, per se, though that's definitely part of it. I'm doing my best to, like, I don't know, a lot of fantasy handles like the races and different people thing in ways that I just find not great. But I do kind of like the idea of treating them as different species that are all sapient, and do have like their own specific like morphology and things like them, or things like that. Such as, I kind of like the idea that gnomes are the go-to messengers in the setting in a lot of cases, because they only need to sleep 8 hours for every week, and things like that. Like, their bodies are just built different. Similarly, orcs in my setting tend to inhabit more, like, rougher regions, such as, like, tundras, deserts, and swamps. And I really like the idea that they are actually kind of born from elemental spirits that are kind of, like, giving form to these creatures. Like, they're not really naturally born through, like, reproductive means or anything like that. Hello, Jean, or Jean, however you're supposed to pronounce your name. Apologies if I got it wrong, but yeah, I'm having a good time with the standard setting ground so far of the putting all this together right now. I got this big lake over here. This just kind of came with the generator. It's the only, like, real big standout lake in this whole entire world. Well, actually, no, that's not true. There's 2 lakes over here, but other than that, I decided it'd be kind of fun to have Gene. Okay, just making sure. Hard to tell. So this over here, I described it to a friend as, this is where Dark Souls takes place, basically. This is just a fallen continent that kind of succumbed to dark magic and ruin because of a very complicated world-shattering event in recent, well, about like 200 or so years ago. I think almost, actually close to 300. What do I have written down for the year again? Let me look. I'm already forgetting my own lore. Yeah, about 277 years ago. Probably closer to 300. Basically, there was a like fallen prince type guy who, oh god, that's really loud. I just have a RPG music playlist going on in the background because chill vibes. I like it when different ancestries actually have different physiology, yeah, different traits that make them stand out versus just being a representative of different behavior, which is kind of yikes. Yeah, I also don't like that either. I really don't like fantasy settings where it's like, all dwarves are stubborn, or like, oh, the elves are all really prideful. Like, I fucking hate that. It's so weird and just leaves such a bad taste in my mouth. But yeah, the world-shattering event was basically a couple thousand years ago. The world was stuck in what was called the Oracle War, or the War of the Oracles, which I think sounds a little bit better, rolls off the tongue a little bit better than Oracle War for me for whatever reason. And essentially what was going on is that a bunch of disparate kingdoms and republics, and just all the different states of the world, were in a state of total war. And the reason being for that was because the vast majority of magicians in this setting had access to prophetic visions and were able to do fortune-telling with a pretty shocking accuracy. And basically what ended up happening is practically every single ruler in this setting had enough, like, yes-men sorcerers around that basically told them, like, yeah, if you play your cards right, you could probably take over the world, that it just brought centuries upon centuries of a forever war. And what ended up happening is there was a guy who was a fallen prince, and yes, this is just a Shar Aznable. Every setting of mine that I make must have a Shar Aznable in it. A fallen prince from this continent over here said, this needs to fucking go, we need to do something about this. So he decided to do something extremely wicked, and there was a temple somewhere over here dedicated to the goddess of prophecy and fate, and he managed to get a bunch of priests to side with him, or either I think actually what would probably happen closer is he managed to trick a bunch of worshippers of her to, like, make her manifest into the world. And then he dropped a floating island on the temple, full of dark magic that caused a massive explosion, almost killed that goddess, but with it also closed off the vast majority of the people's ability to tell the future. As a result, this entire continent kind of fell to darkness and, again, kind of became a Dark Souls land. And terrified of the possibility of these massive undead hordes and demonic creatures setting their sights on other places to conquer, a bunch of empires formed through a series of unification wars. And they basically, went, okay, we need to basically form a crusade against this thing. And the last 100 years has basically been fighting back against them. And I actually think that the first crusade is over around the time that this started. Maybe actually I'd say 50 years from when the campaign starts. Because there was another war. You can see that the holy state of Bagoldia over here seems to have encroached a little bit on the Kingdom of Cassia and the Solarian Empire. And I kind of had an idea that I like setting things a little bit after wars, because I feel like it adds a weird air of unease and discomfort to the setting that I find personally interesting. I don't know. There's a mood to it that I feel like adds a lot. Like, you get a lot of stuff you can do with like former soldiers, veterans with regrets, stuff like that I think is kind of fun to explore in these worlds. But what I had an idea for is that the Solarian Empire, run by massive asshole Emperor Cardaeus, the Cardaeus family being based off of a player character I have in my friend Claire's Pathfinder campaign. Yeah, it does create a good central tension. But anyways, the Empire decided to invade the Kingdom of Cassia and try to take some of their land. Little did they realize that the gnomes are pretty fucking good at fighting back and defending their territory, so it didn't go really well for them. At this point, the holy state of Bagoldia was like, hey, this isn't very... You're basically both sinning, was their excuse, and they kind of launched an invasion and took over both, forcing the Solarians and the Cassians to form an uneasy alliance, and then fight back against Bagoldia, and then there was a peace treaty struck with this kind of being the new shape of the land, about 10 years ago. So yeah, that's kind of like the overview of all the major wars and stuff that have happened in the setting so far. Kind of have a general idea of what that looks like. And kind of this weird unease between people wondering if they're going to need to launch a second crusade against the Fallen Lands in case the demons and the undead start to grow in number, even, they start to recover their numbers again. Then also you have the tension here, obviously, between these three state powers that were very clearly just at each other's throats and have an uneasy tension of peace that could kind of shatter at any moment, basically. So there's a lot of pressures going on in the setting, which is something I always like. And of course, there's another empire over here, which God knows what they're up to. I do kind of think actually that they're kind of more focused westward. The Elorian Empire is where basically the cat people and elves in my setting all got together. There's a lot of humans here too. The United Tribes of Court are basically, there's a tribal society of elves up here that the Elorians tried to take over, and then they defended themselves with great proper, just they're tactical geniuses. I kind of actually view the United Tribes of Court as they are a group of traveling academics, kind of, where they have their society up here where they kind of like to be left alone, but also they really love to send out people to explore the world and learn about it, and collect information. And they're actually very good tacticians. So when the Empire tried to invade, they didn't exactly do a great job, and out of respect to their tactical prowess, they're just like, you know what, you can keep that island, we don't need that island. But have been kind of setting their sights westward to the swamps of the Union of Kurleg Call, which is a predominantly orc and slime based society. I do have little slime guys as another playable race in this setting. And then there's the Principality of Donenia and Principality of La Rosa, which is, I think, this is very heavily cat and human type place as well. Rial and the Valian Theocracy. I think Valian is how I settled on that. These are very human-centric places as well. But also, this over here, the Valian Theocracy is actually a pretty healthy mix of people, I would say, because it's just massive, and it's kind of like a crossing ground between the Boreal lands over here and everything going on here to the south. This is mostly desert and mountain, terrain, except for the coast. You can see that it's mostly communities are on the coast, and it's because the interior is predominantly desert. And what I have going on here is that these two countries essentially got their start because they were most of the how it breaks down is the human part of the Elorian Empire is here to the south, at least in terms of like where the demographics were originally when the Empire got its start. But traditionally, this little tiny dingleberry over here is where most of the humans were. To the west is where most of the elves were, and then to the east is where predominantly most of the Gaians, which are kind of like the mammalian, like cat people, are. But there was a kind of a schism where there was a growth in kind of like a revolution in arcane thought and magical academia, kind of in the human part of the empire over here, where people started to look at the dark magic that was used to basically used and was part of the reason the Fallen Lands became as bad as they were. And as soon as the Empire heard, like, hey, are you guys trying to recreate dark arts that resulted in an entire continent being destroyed? And the humans were like, yes, we actually think we can use these for good purposes. They were like, you need to get the fuck out of here. And there was a massive exodus of free-thinking radical sorcerers that led to the creation of Rial, which is predominantly human, and then the Valian theocracy, which is, in my mind, this is mostly Saurians, which is like lizard people that like to be more in the arid land, like this, as well as humans from the former, humans that were basically expelled from the Elorian Empire, and also a fair share of gnomes up here as well. And then the last thing I got over here is what I affectionately like to call the dinosaur part of the map, and it's basically this is kind of where all of the this is where most of the predominant dragons of the setting have kind of found refuge. There are dragons all over this place, but this up here is primarily where the Saurians, the lizard people, live, as well as their objects of worship, which is just a lot of dragons and stuff. Dragons and giants were both really big parts of the world beforehand, where they kind of, as is the case in a lot of fantasy settings, I know this is kind of cliche, but the dragons and giants went to war, and then were punished by the gods for basically ruining the world, and the gods kind of needed to all come together to partially recreate the world after their war. And they were severely reduced in number and in prominence in the world. But most of the dragons that are still around, they tend to congregate around here. And even though this place is fairly up north and should be pretty snowy, is actually kept warm through magical means, and it's actually very volcanic and tends to be fairly hot throughout the entire year, in contrast to like Folia over here, as I've kind of imagined their winters with how the with how the thermal dynamics and all that work of this setting. Part of me is like, Folia is where it gets real cold. Like this is kind of like where winter hits hard type area. Of course, the Republic of Drenna over here too. Winter probably gets a little rough, but not as bad as over here. And then this is kind of more desert area over here, and it's not really impacted. There's cold deserts and stuff, and things get cold in the winter season, but it's not really snowing over here. That's kind of how I envisioned it. But yeah, that is a broad overview of kind of this world that I have so far. Actually, this is this little island over here I don't have a name for yet, but this is where all of the slimes come from. I thought it'd be fun to give them names that are just kind of based off of like very simple names for, like, Humble Mouse, Festive Bear, Calm Ghost, Lonely Child. I like the idea that slime culture, they're just kind of naming things using this convention, like adjective noun, basically. Yeah, I am also a big fan of slime peoples. I think, did my thing, this upload just has a massive, The song just ends. Well, okay, I better replace that in the playlist here. Let me remove from playlist. Here, let's play the town theme from Elmanage. There we go. Love me some Elmanage. But yeah, I wanted to include some races that were a little fun. I like the idea of slime people, just like little like Dragon Quest-esque slimes being a big player in the setting. I think slime people are just cute. It's a good time. But yeah, other than that, I guess I can also explain. I like how I have gotten like no progress done. I've just basically used this as an excuse to explain how exactly my setting works. But I guess I could show this off too while I'm showing off the setting and shit. So this is oh hey, I can close this drive-through link actually. This is the first area I essentially created, and this is actually a mix of a couple different things. So I want to primarily use this setting as an excuse to run a bunch of old BX modules, but also a nice mix of indie OSR modules, because I really want to support the, you know, I really like supporting the indie tabletop scene. I think they're making the most interesting stuff in the medium right now, so, yeah. But this map that you're looking at is the result of me mixing the module, I think it's B7 Rahasia, or Rasia. I can't exactly remember. Let me look. Is it Rahasia? Yeah, from the old first edition of D&D, and a solo journaling RPG that I picked up recently called Apothecaria, which I have absolutely adored. I was very skeptical of the entire idea of solo tabletop role-playing games. I was just kind of like, why would I do that when I can just do that with friends? It sounds a little stupid. I had a really fucking good time. I should probably not mess around with this. I don't want to actually draw on the map. Oh, well, it's whatever. I just don't need to save it. But I had a really good time playing Apothecaria. I thought it was really cute. Basically, it's a very cozy Studio Ghibli themed potion shop adventure type thing where you draw cards and it gives you a series of writing prompts essentially as to what happens when you're out foraging for your materials and you need to make all these different potions and keep track of ingredients and all that to help heal people in town. And I used it to generate one of the NPCs for the town of Epigo, called just a witch guy named Howl, who kind of serves as the town apothecary after the old witch Mia went missing. So a lot of the stuff from this is actually all taken directly from Apothecaria. Like, there's a lake here. I renamed some of this stuff. Blastfire Bog and the Cloud Isles, those are just straight up from Apothecaria. I included them. I just liked their names, so I kept them. I also decided, because of this, that, like, you know, floating landmasses are fun. There's, like, floating isles and stuff all over the place in this setting, I think, too. I kind of like the idea that this is where giants live, too, kind of Jack and the Beanstalk-esque. Like, they come down when they need shit from the surface world, but a lot of giants just live on these floating isles. I think it's fun. Yeah, it is very lovely. It is a very fun game. I highly recommend Apothecaria. I'm pretty sure it's on itch.io. These over here I kind of included over the course of me figuring out the larger plot of my Apothecaria playthrough. I don't want to spoil too much because I might turn it into an audio drama type thing at some point in the future as like an actual play. But there was a whole subplot, really basically the main plot at this point, involving like a vampire that was going around causing harm to the people of the town, and they had to track some mysterious stuff to these ruins over here. And there's an old wizard tower that's kind of important to the setting too. But then the actual D&D module part of it came from Greybard Mountain over here, which is a mix of the mountain from Apothecaria and the mountain from that BX module, where primarily the dungeon crawl takes place on a temple and a wizard tower that's located on this mountain. And I think this is going to be where the characters are going to start out when we start playing the actual Worlds Without Number game. I think I'm going to have them start in Epigo. You may notice there's a crash ship over here. There is another adventure hook going on in this part of the ocean where there's just a bunch of pirate attacks going on right now that no one can really get to the bottom of. A lot of ships that are being attacked and sinking or being washed ashore like this, unfortunately. So I might have that be a thing that impacts the player characters when they're first going to town, like they kind of crash land aboard or something like that. But yeah, I've been trying to make it so that I have roughly 2 modules per major town as seen on this world map. So if you're looking over here, Epigo's this port town over here. And then I kind of have the area between it and Hog Hill, and a little bit south of Hog Hill actually, filled out too. Just with a bunch of modules and different indie stuff that I think would be fun to run too. Like, let's look at Hog Hill real quick here. So this is actually a primarily based off of a... Oh, no, edit map. What am I doing? I was trying to figure out what was going on there. So this is primarily based off of a module that was a OSR thing that was pretty well received called, I believe it was called, and I forget to drag, I need to hold down space. A pretty well received module called the Black Worm of Brandonsford. And I basically took the entire map from this. I do have one of my old Pathfinder NPCs. I replaced the witch from the module, who was just kind of like a stereotypical like old lady witch or whatever. I replaced her with a witch that I ran for my friend Claire's Pathfinder game, which was an NPC I liked a lot. So I have a lot of my old player characters as NPCs in this world because I always think that's fun. So there's a lot of stuff going on over here. Cave. There's a dragon going around and causing havoc in this little community. There's a lot of fun stuff in that module. Highly recommend Black Worm of Brandonsford if you're looking for something fun and just a little kind of a classic adventure. You know, it's a monster slaying thing where you kind of go around and try to figure out its weaknesses and all that. Maybe a little stereotypical, but I don't know. It's fun. Sometimes just going for sort of generic stuff is kind of fun and cozy too in its own way, right? So yeah, then from there I did expand this area out because I was like, how do I fit a second module into here, because this map seems pretty solidly planned out. I created 2 additional areas from here. So there's Exelos to the south, which is basically a ruined town, and then Dartmouth to the north. So here, let me go south first. This is pretty simple, but I included Mel's Hole, which, if you know what that is, I'm sorry. I sometimes like to put dumb American folklore and supernatural shit into my games just because I think I like keeping that tradition alive. Mel's Hole was a really stupid fucking thing from Coast to Coast AM, if any of you even know what that is. Old stupid radio show where people would call and say they've like seen aliens or ghosts or demons or whatever the fuck. There was a guy who was like, yeah, I got a hole in my backyard or on my property or whatever, and it's a bottomless hole. And like he kept calling in and talking about this stupid fucking hole. And at some point he's like, yeah, I threw my dead dog in there, and then a week later it came back to my house and it was perfectly alive. And like, it's so fucking stupid. But I was like, I kind of want to put a bottomless magical hole that some dude named Mel has in my setting. I like to put little dumb Americana and weird folklore like that just around. I kind of think for I might do a vanishing hitchhiker as a random encounter, because I think that would be kind of fun too. But yeah, honestly, that's one thing I think more. I wish I could recommend to more GMs is like, you really gotta be wide and vast with where you get inspiration from. I think that there's so much you can take from things that you wouldn't expect that aren't typical, like, fantasy stuff, but, I mean, if you think about it, so many different instances of, like, fun fantasy adventuring are the players finding some weird phenomenon that is essentially supernatural, and like the mystery and like intrigue and sometimes horror that comes with it. Like, I think there's a lot to take from weird stupid shit like cryptozoology or old like famous hauntings or weird folklore type stuff like that, or urban legends. I think that there's a lot more to draw there than a lot of fantasy based DMs really give it credit for. This over here, I just kind of put on the map. Sometimes I like to just put something down because I'll have an idea, but I won't really have it fleshed out. This is a good example of that. This guy over here, the statue of Kata Silverlord, I decided he is a important philosopher in the region. I don't know yet what his philosophy is or what he, how he was so impactful that he got his own statue, but it's over here and I'll figure it out later at some point when I have more inspiration. Ruins of an old town. I kind of have an idea of what's going on here. I think, actually, speaking of ghosts and hauntings and shit, I think this town is, like, haunted as hell. I think this is an old, ancient town that fell to ruin due to some sort of long-forgotten calamity, and if you go here at night, you're definitely going to see a ghost type of thing. And then the Shrine of Exelos I actually have because I believe, I can't remember the exact adventure name, but I recently bought a anthology of tabletop RPG materials called the Haunted Almanac, which is just a lovely little book, very expressive, very wonderful art, very great, cool and cozy adventures. But one of them was like I think it was like the Forgotten Shrine of the Slime Toads or something like that. But there's a cute little, very tiny, like 5-room dungeon or something in there that was kind of like toad themed, and I thought it'd be kind of fun to have like a little swamp area over here with a little toad adventure if the party wanted to get there. Sometimes it's just fun to have little side tangents like that for the party to explore and just make the world feel a little lived in, even though it's not really this probably isn't going to be of any major importance to like the overwhelming plot or anything. I just thought, sometimes you stumble into a weird toad cult and they try to, they're a little weird to you. I don't even know if they're necessarily hostile. I might look at that adventure and try to figure out what exactly they're doing over here. If they're up to no good, or if they're, maybe they're just little freaky people that want to be left alone in their little swamp. Who knows? I could go either way on that. So, what else do I got? Oh, do y'all know about The Rock? This is goofy. So, to the north, this is north of Hog Hill. We got this little area here called Dartmouth, which I should state too. If you're looking into any of the modules I'm talking about, you will recognize that none of the actual place names match really, except for over here, The Rock. We'll get to that later. And that's just because I like to change up the names for a multitude of reasons. For one, I just think it's kind of fun to come up with my own take on the general idea of an adventure, and kind of just to run it like my own version of it in a way. I don't really typically actually run modules. This is kind of a new experience for me, and I can't help but want to monkey around with it and try to make it more my own in a sense. That usually comes with me completely throwing out all the names that they came with and just doing my own. Like this mansion over here did not belong to a guy named Kryn Fateseeker, but I kind of just went with that. So yeah, I think a lot of people do that. I think that's a pretty common thing, to just want to try to use it as a template rather than a by-the-book adventure. So, this is actually, you may have noticed this is a square map, and I almost always do prefer to do a hex map rather than a square map. But, the book gave me a square map, so I had to do a square map. This is the map of the module Journey to the Rock, which is a very funny module. Basically, if you don't know about Journey to the Rock, I want to say it's a little infamous amongst like kind of old school players because it's just a weird setup. There's a wizard guy in the mansion over here, who is like, hey, I need some adventurers to go check out this rock, kind of in this desert to the west beyond the forest. and let me know what the secret of the rock is. And there's like 3 different paths to. I actually technically think there's 4 because there's this little clearing over here that's on the map, but I don't know. It's weird. The book is always like, oh, you have 3 different paths to the rock, but it's like I kind of count 4 if you include this weird little desert pass that the map seems to have included. And I don't know if this is technically supposed to be a pass or not. I just included it because it looked like there was a gap there on the map in the book. I don't know, but I think it technically means these 3 dirt paths, one of which is like there are ruins of a city over here. Technically, I actually think that these ruins shouldn't be here according to the book. Like, this town entirely vanished, but I don't think that's any fun. I kind of want there to be ruins there, so I included ruins there because, fuck it, I can change things how I want. But yeah, The Rock is a very goofy adventure that basically has the players choosing which path to go, and then going on a really weird, wacky adventure to discover what the hell's going on at this magical rock. Very goofy setup. But also, people are very torn on it because of how it's structured. You're only ever going to experience about 1/3 of the book, which some people love. I kind of think I like and respect that, but other people fucking hate it because they're like, well, I paid for this book. I want to be able to use all of its resources, but you know, I can kind of see both sides of the argument. Personally speaking, I kind of don't mind that there's different options. And the fact that those other options did exist, I feel like does add something to the experience. Knowing that there was stuff planned that you just didn't get to does make the world feel a little bigger, all things considered. And even, hey, who knows? You might be able to repurpose some of the stuff from the paths the players didn't go down for other modules or other adventures you want to run. I think that it's very easy. You know, the module is in the name. It's all modular. You can kind of move stuff around, and no one has to be any the wiser to it. So, I did actually try to make this setting a little more, or the backstory of the adventure, which the players might not even find out. I made it a little more morally ambiguous, which is just something I tend to like to do. I'm very skeptical of the 9 alignment traditional system that, like, old, like, RPGs, and especially, like, Wizards of the Coast and all of them use. I really like the idea that there is warmth and, like, necessary evil within the darkness, and sometimes the light lets things slide or gets complacent in ways that it shouldn't. I really like challenging the idea that what is dictated as good in a cosmology may not necessarily always be good, and what is dictated as evil may be horribly misunderstood or does have its good sides that is necessary for the flow of the world. And I kind of have something with that going here, where this city, as written in the module, was just this fucking bastion of peace and love and understanding and law. It was like a very lawful city that got destroyed by a bunch of different, like a massive alliance of, like, chaotic peoples, basically banished this city to another dimension. I just kind of had it as they banished the people but left the city in ruins, in my version of the module. But I kind of liked the idea, because, you know, I was thinking, like, why the fuck is there just this desert over here? Now, in the module, this probably expands quite a ways west, but that does not make sense for my world where this module is slotted in. So there's just a desert here, which is very odd for the topography of the surrounding area, if you look at the rest of the map. So I started thinking, I was like, you know, what if this city over here was like a bastion of law, and it was a very, very peaceful and pleasant place to live, but they were, like, blighting the land all around, and the chaotic peoples to the northeast and south, like Exilus or where I'm already forgetting the name of it, to the south, like, they all banded together to be like, hey, you're ruining the forest. You made a desert where there used to not be one. I think these lakes are also just, like, corrupted and, like, you know, covered in miasma and rot, because of, like, the magic that the city practiced for, like, harvesting resources and stuff like that. And all of the chaotic people got together and basically attacked the city so that they would stop blighting the lands. I like doing more morally ambiguous stuff like that, where it's like, was it worth them attacking an entire city's worth of people for because they were destroying the land? That's a lot based off of you know, like, how much do you care about the environment, basically, is what that boils down to. But I like there being some more complicated questions that need to be asked about stuff like that. I tend to avoid pure good versus evil if I can really help it in my settings, just because I like to make my players think about things and engage in the world and make tough decisions and have to make compromises. I think it's a very fun thing to do as a person who likes to run these games. So yeah, I guess we can start making, I could show you more stuff, I guess, but I don't really want to. I mean, okay, it was Exelos. Let's actually just make a new map here. We're gonna go with the Fantasy Regional, and, what I want to do, we're gonna start with Regional, we'll start Square. We can always change this up later depending on how it's going, but what I kind of want to do is map out the town of Ragoon over here to the north, which was, I believe this was actually a random generated name, and I was just like, oh wow, that's very close to Dragoon from Final Fantasy. But this over here is, I think, what I'm going to use for running both the Village of Hamlet and then also In Search of the Unknown, which are both very popular starting adventures from the BX rule set. So I kind of want to even... I need to take a look at both of those books and even see if they're all that compatible, if that would even make sense. From what I understand, I don't think In Search of the Unknown even necessarily has too much in the way of actual maps for the immediate area. I'm looking through the PDF right now in a separate window. I don't think there even is a map of the area. It's probably all the way at the end. No, doesn't even look like it. Yeah. So I guess I can kind of plop that anywhere if I really wanted to. And then I could do... Yeah, I can leave a blank space on the map for this for now. Because I think really a lot of modules only really include the map for the dungeon, because they did not care at all about the wilderness or the town aspects of the adventure back in the day. Which I get, you know, it's about dungeon crawling first and foremost for a lot of old school players. But what I think I can do here, hold on, let me open up chat again. Yeah, Village of Hamlet is very popular, very, very tried and true classic adventure. That was a very quiet wizardry song. Let's listen to some Persona 1. Okay. Let's rush all this land in. Now, what we're gonna do here is let's get some grass going. How bright do I want to make this grass? You know what? I feel like the Village of Hamlet's kind of a gloomy place. Let's do this. We'll just paint that in. What I was doing before is I actually was kind of like mixing it a little bit, where I was like taking... Oh, that doesn't look too good, but I was kind of like blurring. I think it looks better if you do it light on black. Yeah, you know what, I'll show it off right now. I used to take the lighter land textures, or I did this with one of my maps. You might have been able to see it a little bit, though obviously it's covered by a lot of trees. But you can kind of like give like a little bit more shading and texture to the land by kind of going in stripes like this. And just giving it a little more texture, I feel. But the problem with this, and I guess we'll have to wait and see how this looks when yeah, I don't know, it just makes it look a little more natural, in my opinion, when you do it this way. Like, this pops to me more just because there's a lot more different shades and textures going on. You tried running Village of Hamlet, but got stumped by the sheer number of houses with NPCs that needed naming and defining. That is very fair. I also know that Hamlet gets a little too detailed, because of the amount of like they tell you where every single person keeps their treasure, kind of infamously, and stuff like that. I really like to have pretty detailed areas like that, and have I feel like I feel like I tend to be on the side of GMs who maybe have too many named NPCs to keep track of in my adventures. I am very bad at, sometimes making named NPCs when a generic guy could have just done. But I don't know. I really like giving that feeling of a lived-in world. I think I kind of have a form of, weird obsession with, making all of the towns and communities I inhabit feel like they're full of, people that all have unique personalities, when really, in most cases, they probably could just be used as a backdrop. Everyone has a Rottweiler. It's like a Midwestern suburb. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Let's, where's my... What the fuck? I just had it open. Oh, there it is. Okay. I technically have 3 Google Chrome windows open right now. One that's being streamed, one with my PDFs that I'm terrified of showing because I don't want to do anything illegal on my YouTube channel, and the one for the stream chat. So it's a lot to keep track of. Actually, let me do this real quick. I can do the half and half. There we go. Perfect. All right. Oh, well, I actually can't see the PDF. Super great. Here, let me do this. Can I pop out the chat? Let me pop out the chat. Yeah, that's a lot better. Now we're cooking with gas. Okay, can I compress chat down? There we go. Okay, I just made chat like a little mini bar off to the side, and then my PDF viewer, which is just Google Chrome, on the other. There we go. This is perfect. Yeah, I want to run, I not only want to run Village of Hamlet, I do want to attempt to run Temple of Elemental Evil, which when I was a lot newer to the hobby, I'm talking probably around 2016, 2017, there was an attempt where I was like, hey, I kind of want to run Temple of Elemental Evil. That seems like a really popular thing, and I attempted it. Well, sorry, I attempted to prep for it, and then I realized I could barely understand what it was what the actual book of Temple of Elemental Evil was trying to communicate. What a terribly put together adventure. To the point that I looked it up online, and most people, even who played it at the time, or people who are veterans of this scene, were yeah, I didn't really know what it's trying to communicate with some things, and I just kind of made it up as I went along. A lot of people seem to just homebrew the shit out of it. I'll probably do that too. Again, I kind of don't want to make it as clear-cut either on my end too. It's very clear that the elemental stuff going on, in the Temple of Elemental Evil is all very clearly an evil that needs to be stopped, but kind of how I wanted to put it in my world is I actually, going back to the war I discussed earlier in the setting, what I decided was that the main religion of at least this Solarian Empire basically was saying, oh yeah, our victory is assured. But they were just saying that without really actually having convened with the divine in any way, shape, or form. They were just kind of assuming that the Empire would win. And then when the Empire clearly did not win, and it was just kind of more of a stalemate, if not a loss, because they definitely lost territory during the whole debacle, a lot of people's faith was really shook by this. And it gave rise to a lot of new spiritual movements, including, I think, the elemental cults that you kind of see in the Hamlet and Elemental Evil stuff. And I kind of like the idea that they are cults that are serving either neutral or actually outright evil beings, but they may not know it. There's a lot of people involved in the cults that are just trying to do good and do their best, but they don't realize that they're serving greater nefarious purposes. I think that's a little fun, so... we'll see. As I plan things out more, I will have to see how much of it I actually care to include. But let me see, actually, if there is a good map of the region for Hamlet. Not really the region, just the actual town, it looks like. Well, okay, actually, no, we got... Okay, so what do we have here? We have a map in the Temple of Elemental Evil book that covers from Hamlet to Nulb, it looks like. Yeah. Oh, it's a very zoomed-in hex map, actually, now that I'm looking at it. What scale is this supposed to be at? 1 hex equals 10 leagues, okay. Hold on, leagues and miles, I always forget this. Okay, so 10 nautical leagues equals 34 miles. Okay, that's about what I have at scale for my setting anyhow. For my hex map, this hex grid. All of these hexes are 30 miles, so... okay, so then 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 3 hexes away is Verobank, which I know is a important city because there are agents from there in this adventure. So what would my equivalent be? Wouldn't be Gathel. Well, actually, Gathel would be, oh, no. Yeah, no. Gathel is actually going to be my Nulb equivalent, so my version of Nulb is going to be a little further away, but... I feel like Thetum would actually probably be my equivalent to Verobank, even though it's a little bit further away, but it is, like... This is kind of the, capital of the kingdom of this part, the Sanderian kingdom within the, Solarian Empire. Basically how this works is that there's an emperor over here, but then there's also, for serving these, this western and northern region, there are 2 kings as well that are underneath the emperor. But they do have a fair amount of political sway as well. But they're essentially mostly just there as, like, middle administrative types that... They're basically fancier lords. They're just there because of the scale of this empire. It's easier to have them kind of running jurisdiction over these larger areas and being able to lay down the law of the land. But... I think Verobank, my equivalent is going to be Thetum. Here, actually, let me write this down. I have Post-its all over my desk, both from work and from doing this recently. I really need to actually organize these because I'll be in the middle of a work meeting and I'm shifting through fucking stupid D&D notes to get to actual important shit. This is very goofy of me. So Thetum... I like to just make this little key for myself, for just so I know where exactly I am swapping things out. It just helps me keep track of things. Hamlet, instead of Hamlet, it's going to be Ragoon. And then, I actually think this song is from the Temple of Elemental Evil games. Oh, no, it's not. This is from Pathfinder Kingmaker. I should play that at some point. My friend Claire's playing through it right now, my Pathfinder GM. Let's see. Okay. So then, we got Thetum over here. Hamlet is Ragoon. And then my equivalent to Nulb, which is the actual town you go to after the original... I believe that you go to Nulb after you're done in Hamlet, and then Nulb is actually around where the actual Temple of Elemental Evil is. So I'll have that be Gathel. These are a little bit further away from their equivalents, but I think it's close enough, and I mean, really, I don't think distance is going to matter that much, for this module, at least. Once you get into town, things tend to not, it doesn't, you know, there's not too much inter-community mixing in terms of, like, needing to worry about how close things are, I find, in a lot of these adventures. And I can always just kind of spitball it, or, you know, fast travel definitely exists in magical settings like this. You know, there's airships in this setting, for one, and there's also, like, I don't know, like teleportation magic and all that, so we can make it work. So, I don't know if it actually has here. No, it doesn't have on the map where the actual temple is in relation to Nulb, it looks like. Let me just keep going down. No, it just says that there's a southern road that leads to the Temple of Elemental Evil. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is fine. You know what? Oh, there's the FF11 battle theme. I don't even know if I need to necessarily do too much of a regional map for this yet until I might have a broader idea. This actually might be a reverse case. Usually I like to start broad and then go into more detail. I think this might actually be a good case where I might just make the town map and then try to go from there. Yeah, the more I'm looking at this map, I think I might be better off just doing that, because there's not much of a regional map to speak of for this, so. Oh, the hex scaling is all out of whack to begin with. I'm not surprised. Funny enough, I think Princes of the Apocalypse, which is the like kind of like the 5e equivalent to Temple of Elemental Evil, I think they fucked up the hex map scaling there too. I don't know what it, I guess it's an easy thing to fuck up, but yeah, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go back to this map, and I think we're actually going to change. I think what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna, well, actually, hold on. Let me see. Because I want to show grid. We're not doing isometric. We're doing the classic. Okay. Let me count these out. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Okay, so I think it's 29 horizontal by... It's kind of hard to count the grid because it's all black and white, and I'm struggling to see beyond some of these bushes on this map that I know you can't see on the screen, so apologies for this, but let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Holy shit, this is a tall map. 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56. 29 by 56. God damn. Okay. So you want 29 columns and then 56 rows. Holy shit. Okay. Let's see how this goes. I think because I have the dimensions as square, this is not gonna work, actually. Yeah, let me just go. I'm gonna make a tall map. It's fine, we were barely starting. And actually, this lets me change to, let's do our watercolor cities map. Let's do portrait. And then let's just get the grid going right away since I don't want to forget. So 29 by 56. There we go. All right, now we're cooking with gas. And let's fill out some land. Yeah. Look at that land. Perfect. Beautiful. And now I can... Here. Now we can kind of... Oh, geez. I guess it needs to be foreground first, right? Yeah. Actually, let's start darker and then go lighter, yeah. Whew. Okay. Something like that. Oh, geez. Okay, maybe this doesn't work. Yeah, I think I had it better the first time. Here, we'll see how it looks as I go further into it. This is contrasting a little too much for my liking. The grass basic. Yeah, I'm not liking the results I'm getting from this as... okay, maybe not actually. This is fine. Go over it with maybe a fourth. Ooh, geez, okay, the dark actually is a little... Let me make the dark a little smaller. Oh, geez, okay, no, this actually just looks bad, yeah. I kind of like this look to it, though. That's close enough. Okay, so, what we're going to want to do now is we got some buildings to place. This is actually my first time using this exact tile set, so I'm going to need to figure out what all of this entails. Noble buildings, is there like a church in particular? Small red clusters. Here, let me look up temple or church. Temple! There we go. We got some temples. If I type church, I wonder if anything comes up, actually. Oh, that's not how you spell church. There we go. Yeah, let's go with that. So, if we look on the map, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5. Okay, 10 to the right, and then 1, 2, 3, and then 6 down. Okay. 10, and then actually technically 7 because I didn't count the first one, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright. That should be a lot larger, actually. You know what, I'll make it a bigger church. There we go. Good evening, Keith. Here, I'll have it be like about ye big. You know what, actually, let me maybe map out the path. That might help a little bit, too. How bright or dark do I want the path to be? I think this will be fine. And maybe a little darker to stand out, because we kind of have a weird mishmash of color options. Maybe we'll do cave. Yeah, I kind of like cave, actually, for the path. A little dark, but... actually, yeah, let's see if there's a happy medium ground here with brown soil. Oh yeah, actually I like brown soil the most out of all those. Good thing I looked. So we can go. Yeah, it's just the path out of town. We don't need to be too anal about it, I don't think. Let me actually make this a little bit bigger because I think it'd make it more accurate to the book. So, yeah, this might be too big. No, that looks about right actually. Hope the map making goes well. You know what? Appreciate you being here, Steven, and good luck with work tomorrow. Because God knows not expecting to have a good day at work tomorrow myself. I have like 2 meetings and I don't want to be in either of them. They're gonna be fine. It's just, it's a waste of time. Story of my life, but. You know what? Actually, this path doesn't even curve that ahead. let me just try. You know, yeah, as long as I have, like, the broad outline of this village, I'm not gonna be too anal retentive about making sure I get square-by-square accuracy, I don't think. I don't have time for that. Okay, and then this kind of goes sideways. There's, like, a little clearing or cropping here. Let's have this look a little more natural. Yeah. It kind of curves off to the side. Oh, we got a lot of real estate actually over here. If that's the case, I might actually widen this map based off of how it looks from even the book. Yeah, okay. It's a lot bigger, but it's fine. And we'll have this go off to the side. Well, no, not that big. There we go. Then this path continues down. Okay, now let's actually make it. There we go. There's actually a stream here, so we'll cover that up later. And then about when it hits here, it goes down to the south. Oh yeah, we got a lot of space to work with. Head down south, curve it a little bit so it looks natural. And it curves off to the side. Looks like the inn is like right over here. There's like a little bit of a lot. Yeah, this seems like to be like a main thoroughfare. There's like a blacksmith over here. This road goes off to the side. And there's like a little bit of a lip right here too. For some of the other... Yeah, okay. And then this goes south. Okay, no, I maybe have gone too far to the north. Fuck, okay, hold on, we're gonna have to undo a good, well, okay, hold on, let me redo. Yeah, we need to take this a little further to the north. There we go. Hey, FF11 music again. I don't need to be too accurate with this, I don't think. A little bit of a lip, like I said. And then... yeah, well, the southern part is, like, barely matters, because it just goes out of town. And then there's a road going this way. Okay. We got, like, the core structure of the town, at least in terms of there being a road here for us to kind of follow. And, oh yeah, this does also go out of town as well. Okay. Let's put this river in. Well, actually, hold on, I didn't finish this map, technically. Or this road, technically. So... yeah, it's like about here. It goes nice vertical, then kind of dips down, and then there's like a brewery. Yeah, I went too far. Dips down brewery. There we go, okay. I just don't want things to be like too close to the edges of the map if I can help it. I find it makes it a little easier to keep track of that way. I don't know how this handles, if this has good cliff. Ooh, okay, this does work actually. Big cliff composites, big cliff. I'll try this out, we'll see how this goes. Yeah. We'll see. See, I can't really, like, curve these how I want to, I don't think, at least. Which is gonna be annoying. Here, let's see how these look if you kinda... I guess it's fine, they kinda blend together how you'd want them to. I don't like that these aren't casting a shadow. Let's make these cast a shadow. give them some sort of pop. Hello, Max. There we go. I feel like that looks a little better. But yeah, this cliff edge kinda goes a ways. Oh yeah, FF11 music. That's the vibe. Honestly, a lot of this world that I'm making right now was very inspired by my time with FF11. I need to get back to it. I'm paying for a sub that I'm not using, which is honestly funny because that's one of the big things I was always like, oh, I don't want to play MMOs because what if I don't end up paying for the thing, and now I'm doing it. I am the me who I feared I would become. Here, let's see. How do I change the shadow direction? Well, I guess actually this one wouldn't have a shadow, right? Because it's to the north. So. And then something like that, yeah. Yeah, I don't really feel like I like how these look, but I wonder how these big cliff composites look. Oh, well, I mean, they're just, yeah. Honestly, maybe they would look better without the shadow. Let me try. No, either way, they feel like they don't belong, or like they don't really pop how I would want them to. Kind of a pain, but oh well. I can probably find a tutorial later that will cover how to make decent looking cliffs at some point, so. But because like the ways these work, I'm not super feeling them. But this map does include cliffs, so I kind of need them as written. So, but let me look and see, because we need more town buildings here. Small blue roof, yeah. Make these a little bit bigger. Yeah, a little bit bigger, actually. And then something like this here. This is close enough to the vibe I want to go for. There we go. This little side building kind of cuddle up a little bit. Yeah, it's the Kingsfield track. I got the good RPG vibes going, friend. I got the good RPG vibes going. Yeah, if anyone has advice for incarnate fantasy maps and making cliffs look decent, please let me know, because I'm not super in love with how this looks, but whatever. You know what, actually, what I think it honestly might be, let me just change... I think it might just be a trick of the light because of, yeah, like if I do this, I think this helps a lot. Like just make it look like it's not part of the same texture. I think this is gonna help. And then I can just go back through and recreate this path. I always wonder how RPGs handle maps. Like, do they have some sort of tool, or do they hire a cartographer to make the art? Yeah, I think really it's just working with a really good artist in most cases. But I mean, I guess for like, you know, more indie stuff, it is actually honestly using a lot of tools like this. I think a lot of them, I don't know about Incarnate in particular, have like licenses for like, oh hey, if you want to use our stuff, you can pay for this license and have stuff going. But yeah, this looks a lot better. Like you can, this immediately, you can tell like, okay, this is like a different plot of land. I like this a lot more. Let's see if I can even kind of do my thing where I kind of smear it up a little bit. Like, yeah. Yeah, it might be better if I just do that here and then here. And then do the path last. Much better. Yeah, now we're cooking with gas. Okay, yeah, I actually like this a lot. This is in line with the rest of how it looks, but also you can tell that this is really a clearly differentiated part of land. So I like that. Okay, what else can we do here? There's also... Oh, you know what? Actually, what I wanted to do was the stupid fucking river. Water textures. Rich water. Water blue dark. Let's do water blue. Here. Okay, so it gets a little close to the edge of the cliff, like over here-ish. And it actually follows it up a ways. And then kind of goes... Oh, ooh, jeez, okay, fuck that up. That did not look natural at all to my eye. Then kind of wavers a little bit. Then, like, right at this crossing goes through, then dips down. Kind of goes up diagonal again. And then kind of curves and follows the road. Okay. Yeah, it looks good. And then let's get a good bridge. There actually isn't a bridge listed on the thing here, but like there's got to be a bridge here. Right? Unless it's not listed in the module for whatever reason. Like, maybe there's a reason that they don't have a bridge over this river, but I kind of assumed that they would. It'd be kind of a pain in the ass to get around otherwise. So. Okay. Now. Start filling in some trees, I guess, too. Lot of trees over here. Lot of trees over here. Kind of covers the rest of this little plateau. A couple tree friends over here this way. Urban planning just got lazy and made the road underwater. Honestly, yeah. Bob Ross time. Honestly, I kind of feel it when I'm doing these maps. This is like, yeah, there's like a real nice cozy vibe to this. Here, let me do the cliffs again, actually. Let me do the cliff composite. Oh, Jesus Christ, you're a big boy. what did I do for these? Size 72, okay. So let's do cliff composite, size 72. Let's have you... yeah, you kind of follow up to the road. Right over here, we make it a little bit bigger. Actually, there we go. Then there's like another cliff right over here, but let's make it so that it's not completely... Here, let's turn it a bit so it looks a little more natural. Because if they're both at like the same angle, I think that looks a little dumb. So... since they're both facing south, let's give them a layer of shadow. Again, let's change up the grass here a little bit, just so it looks a little differentiated from the other part. Possibly a shallow point in the river that never warranted a bridge? Maybe, but yeah, even that probably... That sounds like a good way to get athlete's foot. Oh no, it's way too small. Oh jeez. I hit the road. I should have done the path last. God damn it, whatever. Yeah, I'll save when I want to save, goddammit. I just covered up way too much of that, I feel. I don't actually like the sandy texture on this over that too dark of a background. Let me try to get another good, it's another, like, medium green. I actually already had Grass Basic in here, didn't I? Yeah, that's just that one. Do this. Actually, I don't know if I like that because it kind of pops through. It's giving me a chowder vibe. Here. We can just do the alternating. Yeah. Make it look a little less. Yeah, you know what, that's fine. I'm fine with that. And then maybe up here we can have it be more of the... Yeah, okay, I'm liking this actually. More of the actual grass texture and land. There we go, and you can kind of differentiate that way. Yeah, this is looking pretty okay. Looked and it seems like Gygax just emitted a bridge. It's downstream from a mill, so it's safe to assume that boy's fairly rapid. Yeah, that is a good point too. It is downstream from a moat, a house, and a mill, so. Let's see. Oh, Gygax, what a funky little goober. Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. Ooh, that's a funky shaped one. Ooh, these are real funky little friends. Ooh, okay. This is making it hard. I need to... You know what, actually, I'm being stupid. I can just do that, too. Oh, is the church on the top layer? Okay, never mind. Fuck me. We need to rethink our life choices up to this point. How do I want to do this? You know what? I'll have this move up here. I'll have this go right along here. I don't know. I want these to kind of align decent enough. I'll just have the church go sideways. It doesn't really fucking matter, does it? So I'll just reconvene that to go right here. Much like art of any other type, sometimes you kind of fuck up along the way, and then you just kind of work with the mistakes. So, you know. Here. I totally did not realize that church was supposed to be in the top layer. But whatever. I know I've said this a lot before, especially in my model kit videos, but I do feel like getting into model kit building was a very good way for me to accept imperfection and to not be so anal with myself about fucking up when making things. And I think it actually served me more well than I would have imagined in my journey as a tabletop role-playing game person as well. Yeah, let's make a funky little cliff right here. I kind of like the shape of this lad. It's kind of a pain in the ass to fit here, though. I'll have it like that, and then flip vertical. Yeah, do something like that. And then just have this go off kilter. There we go, perfect, okay. Yeah, that has like some character to it, you know? I like that. And again, let's kind of go for it. Oh, geez. My headphones came unplugged, I can't hear my music, oh no. There we go. I don't think Incarnate has a paint bucket tool, so I've been doing this, but if anyone knows of a better way, let me know. I could just be completely blind. I've not been using this program for long. Let me just do the edges, and then I can fill it in with a bigger brush, too. Yeah. Big enough brush for the job, as they say. Perfect. Perfect. Now let's leave a little bit of the undercoat poking through, and then we can do this. Just kind of go over it again. The dark. Make it look natural, not too many. I don't want too many of the round brush edges poking through. But yeah, I think that looks good. Yeah, I'm really liking how this is coming together. Next time might be a good idea to have a separate road layer. Yeah, that is true. That is true. I'm still a little baffled how layers work exactly in this particular, because there's a foreground and background for the textures, and I think stamps have their own layering system. I should probably look up more tutorials for this in particular and see how it works exactly, but it's a little funky and takes some getting used to. I'm thinking this is looking pretty good so far, though. I'm having a good time. This is a little... There we go. There's a little too big of a splotch there for my liking, but this is looking fine. This is looking fine. Any more cliffs that we need to worry about? I actually think those are the only differences in elevation we need to worry about. So now what we can do is we can have a little more fun with our Bob Ross friends, the trees. How big are these trees supposed to be? You know what? This is kind of a big tree. These are kind of big trees for the scale this map is going for, but whatever. It's fine. Yeah, we'll keep them at like size. You know what? I'll make the rest of these a little bit smaller. Let's bring it down to like 139. Yeah, that looks a little closer to what the map scale is. Put some bushes over here. This is more than where it is on the map, but whatever. A lot of them off over here to the side. Cover that in bushes. Trees, rather, but whatever. Some near the church, not actually... Actually, no, I forgot. Since I moved the church so far up north, these trees wouldn't be here. But, you know what, we'll put them... There probably would be a few over here. That seems natural. I don't know how I would feel having a church so close to a cliff edge like this, but, you know... Religious people are all about faith, right? So... it's fine, probably. Ooh, okay, hold on. I need to move this one so it's not fucking up with the... Here, actually, let me move down a layer, and then move... Oh, God damn it. Okay, hold on. Move down a layer? Yes. Okay. Move up a layer. And then move up a layer. Perfect. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that looks good to me. Here, actually, I'll have this move down, because I kind of liked how it looked. Yeah, I kind of like that look better. So. Okay. A lot more trees over here to the north. Oh, geez, they're not randoming like I wanted them to. That's a pain in the ass. I actually kind of want to redo these now. And also, these are not the size I wanted them to be. God damn it, whatever. I wasn't paying attention to that. I didn't have them on random stamps, so they wouldn't be differentiated. They still look fine, but that's the principle of the thing. Fuck what I said about being a perfection, with going with the mistakes. TBH. Going back on my word. There we go. Okay, now random stamps. Yeah, I think that was the only one where that was an issue, right? Oh no, these are all not randomized at all. Okay. Yeah. I don't like it. Whoops. Here, we'll delete just some of them, and then there's only so many of these stamps anyways, so... Yeah, there we go. That looks a lot more natural. Same over here. We'll delete some. I was thinking something was looking a little off about the trees. There we go. Much better. Here, let's put a big old tree right there. God, I really am Bob Ross all of a sudden. Holy shit. There we go. Yeah, I'm liking this. The church builder figured that by building the foundation of our faith up so high above the water level, the closer we are to God. Surely we will be blessed for such ambition. Yes, true. Okay. Yeah, I'm liking this. I like to have stuff go a little bit off the edge of the map too to give it a sense of continuity, or else it just feels too game boardy, and I don't like that. So. Oh, there's a few trees at the bottom of these cliffs too. I'll have those represented. This area is kind of just empty. This is actually a much bigger empty gap. Maybe I'll put something unique here. I don't know. We'll leave that a blank space for now. This is actually like a... This is like a... what's the scale on this map even? Supposed to be... Let me look. These all... Yeah, I don't even think there's a map scale for this grid. Thanks, Gary. Let's see. Nah, whatever. I guess it doesn't really matter. But it's just a one square, it's just a one square fucking, little... Oh, hold on, okay, now I'm seeing. Because there's a part 2 to the village map that I, did not map out. Okay, so one square is 20 feet, okay. So there's like a 20-foot, this is supposed to be like 20 feet. But I made it much larger than that, so. But whatever, maybe I can put a fun little unique building that's not actually in Hamlet there. Make something new and original. Other trees, other trees, other trees. Let's see. Yeah, there actually is quite a few. So, below the river, there's like a farm, or there's a barn over there, but beyond the barn, my favorite song from Zone of the Enders too, is a bunch of trees that kind of coalesce over here. Other happy little trees. Other happy little trees indeed. Kind of a big old tree right there. You know what? I'll save the trees that go kind of around the buildings. Well, actually, I don't know. Let me just like a little volley of trees right there. Something like that. I might delete these later to make room for stuff, but we'll see. Yeah, this part of the map, I might need to just make the buildings next because a lot of these trees are kind of right between them, and I want there to be enough space to have all that going on. And then, yeah, the southern parts are just all fucking trees. I think there's another Persona 1 song. Persona 1 soundtrack, pretty good. Both versions, pretty fucking good. Yeah, I know how to save. I'm a rebel. Fuck you, program. Oh, I just noticed there's a little forest druid guy over here. Oh, actually, there's a... Yeah, okay, I kind of see what this is doing now. Okay, yeah, let's, here. There's a little druid hut back here. Let me, let's get those buildings going again. Yeah, I feel like we can make the druid look a little differentiated. Do something like this. Oh geez, I want him to be to scale with the other. What scale did I have these at? 195. Okay. Yellow buildings, small yellow buildings. Hey, you know what? Yeah, we can actually go with this. 195. Boom. Alright, that looks perfect, actually. Here, let's just make sure this is... Yeah, okay. I thought that was a little... That's perfect. Okay, we got a little druid home. 20... What the fuck is 24 on this map? Let me actually look this up. 24. What is this supposed to be? Oh, there's a lot of 24. There's a lot of instances of 24 in this goddamn... here, it'd probably be easier if I look up Hamlet. Okay. 24 is... The Grove. This is obviously a place of worship. The trees are neatly pruned and grass is well tended. A carefully placed line of bluish stones sets off a path leading to a rock cairn where flowers, nuts, berries, and garlands of leaves are placed. A small path leads beyond the shrine to a low-roofed wooden building placed under the great boughs of the central oaks of the copse. Okay. Yeah, the index scene is, I can already, yeah. The index scene's a little fucked up. The thing that got me was the actual Temple of Elemental Evil is, I don't know who the fuck thought that that was readable. I really don't. Just a fucking shit show of a dungeon layout. But... God, I'm actually having a lot of fun. Thanks, guys, for joining me and indulging me in doing this. I'm having a good time. Yeah, let's get back to that map. I was just curious what that was. Okay. So, from there, so Druid... barn. Is there any actual specific barn tiles? Yes, there are. Okay, let's take a look at these. This actually looks very close to what they have in the book. This is 1, 2, 3 tiles wide. Oh, damn, this also looks like it's about 3 tiles wide. What a coincidence. Make that 270. And have that right there. Then there's like a curved little building off to the side from there. What the hell is this song? Oh, it's from Elman Age again. Oh yeah, it's the town theme. Let's play some, what haven't we heard yet? Let's play some Saga. I don't think we've heard Saga yet. God, I fucking love this song. Why did that song sound like every Fire Emblem Band theme ever? Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. There we go. This might be a little too intense for map building, but fuck it. Oh, this is exactly what I was looking for, actually. Let's see. Losing my tabs now. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, this song is a lot. Bob Ross Ultra Instinct. How do I flip again? Oh yeah, it's these. Oh, whoops, 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 no. There we go, much better. Yep, okay, that's basically in line with how it looks in the book. Not that it matters again. There's a much bigger barn actually off to the side again. Barn, okay. Oh wait, no, that was a small yellow building, it wasn't barn. Okay, hold on. Barn. Okay. Let's make this a big boy. Perfect. This is a little too big. Right there. Square house like right over here. Right flush up against the road, basically. Then this is supposed to be this huge lot. The reason this lot is so huge is because there's an inn like right here. Let's have it be blue. And this inn is pretty fucking massive, actually. Like, even actually bigger than this. So... let's put that up to like 288. Yeah. That's looking good. Feels like you're in a PS1 loading screen again. Okay. I really like the aesthetic of what we got going here so far. This is very cozy looking. I like this a lot. Okay. Leatherworker is across the way from the Welcome Wench Inn. Probably gonna change that name, not a fan. Gary Gygax, very fucking weird about sex workers. I don't know, it's weird. So, you know what? Let's actually not change the angle on that. I kind of like how it's off-kilter just ever so. That's kind of fun, that adds some personality. No, this is too fucking big. What was the scale of this again? 195. Let's make this like 200. Exactly. Yeah. Actually, it's a little bit bigger than that in the book. Let's go 209. Okay, so we got the leather worker. Let me actually make it so that the path goes all the way to like the building. There we go. That was a little more natural. Let's just finish the southern part of the map, I guess. Yeah, I'll put a big old house down over here. This is also kind of a little bit off to the side, and actually the path does curve up to meet it, I just noticed in the book. So we can do that. And then there's like a little blip where like another farmhouse is over here. Yeah, I kind of like it a little bit tilted off to the side like this. And put a little barn here too. Perfect. Okay. Oh, and then there's a woodcutter who lives... Oh yeah, there's just a huge... Yeah, this is actually a pretty sizable field now that I'm looking at it on the map. I didn't really notice that before. But yeah, there's oh yeah, we need to fill out these trees actually a little bit too. But then there's a woodcutter who lives over here. Yeah, that almost exactly looks like how it looks on the map in the book too. How big are these trees again? 158, okay. Yeah, let's add more trees, make sure random stamps are on. Woodcutter better live near some trees, right? This kind of follows up a ways. She kind of goes towards the end. This is more curved than it is on the map, but whatever, it's fine. Then actually there's a line of trees kind of like that. There's like a little clearing here. I don't think there's anything actually special there, but... And then behind the farmer's way, there's like, yeah... some stuff there. Some trees right there. Some trees over here. This actually, we might as well just close this off. Yeah, just make it look like there's a little bit more woods. I like this. This is good looking. Yeah, I feel like moral of the story of tonight, we don't gotta make it look exact, but we're making it look pretty solid, all things considered, so. There's like another, there's like a very specific like row of trees here too. So I can't tell. These might actually be like supposed to be like, yeah, you know what? I actually think these might. Some of these are supposed to be like gardens. Now that I'm looking at them. Good luck with the map. Thank you, and have a good night. Thanks for watching. Yeah, actually this row here too, I think this is more supposed to be like a garden than a row of trees. These are supposed to be trees, but... Oh wait, no, that is actually supposed to be a garden too, it looks like. Yeah, I'm just gonna delete these. Here, we'll sprinkle in a few trees for fun, but... most of this is supposed to be cleared. So, we'll leave them clear. Let's see. How long is this song, actually? Holy shit. Oh, this is like 22 minutes. Yeah, let's fucking... Here. Play some dungeon crawler music. Ugh. Oh, Jesus. There we go, I didn't mean to place those. Thank God for the undo key. Why is this like phantom tree there? There it is, okay. That was freaky. So we got like the southern part of this like basically done. Okay, yeah, let's do some of these other ones now. The herdsman right here. I don't know why it's not showing like the phantom image anymore. I think I fucked up the cursor thing. Oh well. But this is pretty big. Oh, you know what? This looks exactly like the druid stamp. Let's make this different. Yeah. Perfect. A little smaller. Excellent. And then there's a blacksmith right here, so... that a little smaller. Awesome. There's a weaver to the north. Actually between those two trees. Actually, I'll do like that. And again, let's make the path actually go to all these places, because that's kind of how worn paths work. It's where people walk, right? So, makes sense that they connect to the fronts of all these buildings and kind of look a little more natural. Dip a little bit, there we go. Actually, let me, yeah, there we go. Okay. I'm much more happy with this. Another barn. Over here. This one should be closer to the 195. That actually looks okay at like 200-ish. This is supposed to be more like vertical. It's supposed to be a little... yeah, it's like right where the edge of the road is. So we'll do that. Or like where this turn starts. And then another farmhouse. So we can do that. Actually, ooh, I got these mixed up. The house is supposed to be the small one, and then the... yeah, okay. Here. This is a small house. Right over here. I'll actually make that a little bit bigger just so it looks a little more in line with the other stuff in town. Then the barn is actually horizontal. Let's get that to 90. Off to the side right there. Beautiful. Oh, and actually I missed a tree over here. Boop. Oh, that tree is way too fucking big. Scale again. 139. Or 158. These are 138, 139, 158. Oh yeah, that's right. I think I decided to make them a little bit smaller. Let's go with the 139. Right there. Yeah, we'll add 2 trees. Oh, then over here there's actually a village hall. That's a tiny looking village hall compared to this. I don't know. This inn is throwing me for a loop because this inn is way fucking bigger than anything else in town. I guess that makes sense in its own way. Let's actually see. Is there any like hall? No, I didn't think so. Let's actually look at the different types of buildings they have. See if there's anything that could remotely be used to. I mean, there's a special building thing: alchemist, brewery, carpenter, fishery, herbalist, different inns, leather worker. Yeah, there's some fun stuff. I probably could find a blacksmith thing in here, but whatever. University, cathedrals, big church, temples, guilds. Yeah, nothing that's really striking me. This is cool that they have all these options, though. Yeah, let's not do another inn. Yeah, I don't think that any of these are gonna be what I'm looking for, so let's just go with a classic building. These buildings all look fine anyhow. I'm not too worried about them. Let's do, is there like a larger red building option? Medium red buildings. There's no large red buildings, huh? Medium red noble buildings. Yeah, I think our only size options are small and medium. That's fine. Let's go with the let's hide these, and then let's go with medium red buildings. Oh, these all look a little funky. I don't like how these look, actually. It's fine. I'll have that be the village hall. It's a little more like that on the map, actually, and then the road, again, kind of curves up to meet it. There we go. And then, goodness. What else we got going on here? Oh. Let's see. Okay. So what I think we're gonna do is we'll actually... Yeah, let's just continue going the way we're going, actually. I was gonna change it up a bit, but nah. Let's put the tailor right here. I kind of want that to be closer to 195, actually, because it's kind of a smaller house. And let's... Perfect. The tailor does not actually get a little road going to his place. A shame. A shame. But we can't all be special, I suppose. And there's a teamster up over here. Did I get everything on the side of town, basically? I think I did. I think I technically completed all of the buildings in the south of Hamlet. think we're in the clear. So. Yeah, let's just keep going. Ooh, there's a cabinet maker. Fun. Here, I kind of want the buildings to the north to be more blue. I kind of like the idea of having like a little bit of a color coordination theme going for this place. Here, let's actually flip this. And it's basically up against the road, but it doesn't actually like have the exact path leading there. There's a Potter to the south. Actually, kind of... yeah. Okay. I can kind of see how this is going. 180 on this guy. Then actually we can put some trees down. Oh goodness, that's a very big tree. There we go. Kind of like a wall of trees that are separating the Potter from the other gig. Because there's a jewels and money changer over here actually. So let me actually see if I can do medium-sized. Something a little more fancy looking. Yeah, let's put this up to 210. Whoops, not the tree. The tree doesn't need to be 210. There we go. Ah, that could still be bigger in my opinion, actually, based off how it looks on the map. There we go. Oh, my chat closed. There it is. Okay. Nothing else going on, actually. Just noticed. Yeah, it's fine. It's a chill stream. Oh, there we go. I had to switch to live chat. Tia was hiding. It was hiding your message from me. Yeah, it Razin. Let's see. What are we doing here now? Okay, so we got the Potter, we got the cabinet maker, we got the jeweler. Now across the road is a trader. It has like a larger building, kind of like a storage area more than a barn, but we're gonna just make it be a barn, I think. I actually think this is technically supposed to be one kind of big building, but I'll just make it two. It is, honestly. Actually, I think this is supposed to be like kind of a lot, actually, even. So let's... that's too big. There we go. Yeah, let's actually make this a little smaller. It's more in line with the rest of the town that way. Then I think this is... yeah, I think this is actually a lot that leads in here. And kind of goes like this. Perfect. That's looking good. Whew, yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this is turning out, actually, all things considered. Let's see. Yeah, and then there's like the Teamster over here. So it's like a couple smaller buildings. Let's here. If I just place like 3 buildings that... yeah, no, okay, no, that's not gonna work. I wanted to kind of go for what it's looking like. 270. We can have this kind of closer to the woods, and then this building over here, and that basically kind of replicates what it looks like in the book. They're a little further apart, but whatever, it's fine. Here, actually, I'll bring it closer just to make it a little more natural looking. That actually... oh no, there's a herdsman over here. let's give him a long purple house. There we go. Okay, this actually essentially completes the village of Hamlet. At least in terms of the primary western region of it. I'll have to make a separate map for the eastern part. I should have scrolled down a bit and I would have drawn this differently, because I was like, oh wow, I'm kind of using up a lot of this, or like, I'm making this a lot bigger than it is in the book, and the reason for it is because there's a stupid second eastern part of it, but never had much luck making a world map with it. Yeah, so what I'm doing for the world map is I'm using Asgar's fantasy map generator, and this just gave me a massive hex map to work with, so I don't think I explained this before either. All of these names I basically went through and renamed. It gave me basically all of these different places, and I went back in and manually made names for each of these over the course of a weekend while listening to like music and podcasts and shit. That was a fun time. And then for dungeons, I'm using Dungeon Scrawl, which I was kind of hoping to show off this stream, but I never really got around to making a dungeon. But this is fun. I really like how this looks and just overall operates for making old school-esque maps. This, like the little like hatching and stuff, very good aesthetic. I like it a lot. And then you can even do like have stairs going down, and it even has like the old school style for it and all that. It's very fun. And you can even like erase. See, if you wanted to make this like a wall instead, you can do like that. Oh, here, let me. Yeah, something like that. This is a little thicker than I'd probably make it normally, but yeah, this is fun. Yeah, Dungeon Scrawl, very good dungeon map maker. I'm probably going to use this for my campaign, so. Whew. Oh god, incarnate load, there we go. Yeah, I'm pretty content with how this is looking, actually, though. I still kind of, there's like a weird little funky plateau that isn't in the original Hamlet map that I kind of want to make something, something fun and unique, in, like, or something fun and unique over here. Let's see what I can, what options do I have? I don't know how much I really got to play around with here. Special buildings, alchemist. Destroyed Thieves Guild, destroyed tower. Maybe put something like ruins of something over here. I can have it just be a nice part of the world lore or something. Broken fountain. Yeah, what's all going on? There's a stadium, windmill. Yeah, these are all random special buildings. There's hay. Good old hay. Hillside crypts. Graves. Oh, you know what? Actually, could I just put some graves here? That actually kind of makes sense, considering that there's like a... You know, there's a whole church over here. I could just make these graves. Just kind of have them go all the way out here. Actually, I can probably fill them in, yeah. Town's old grave plot. Makes sense. Maybe even have like a little funky mausoleum or something. Let's see. Mine entrance, no. Pillars. Yeah, these are all like little details and all that. Here is there. Yeah, these are just graves. There has to be like a little gray building, or there's a blue tower. in stone bench. Ah, damn. Incarnate, you've failed me. Wall tower. I could just probably do one of these wall towers or something. It all probably looks the same from up above, so I could do this as a little pavilion. Yeah, I don't know, that's not very... See, now this is more mausoleum-like to me, actually. I could do this. Have it be like a mausoleum for some important person of some type, or a crypt of some type. Whew. Well, you know what? I think we can call this a... You know what? Actually, hold on. I just realized I mapped this out without entirely thinking at all about the actual map of my fantasy world. So this is Ragoon. So we got the road kind of going into town here from the northeast, which I don't even know if we have. I guess actually we do. Well, okay, hold on. We need to remember that there's going to be an eastern part of this map, so I can salvage that for when I draw that. And then there is a way out of town to the kind of west, a little bit leaning southwest, which I think makes sense. That would be this road over here to the, you know, over here. And then we have the stray road going north on the map. In the module that I'm looking at, it does not actually have any listed purpose. But considering what we are doing, which is I'm going to be putting a second module here, this might be the road that leads to the keep, or like the In Search of the Unknown module. That could be a fun thing to do there. So I will keep that in mind, and I will make sure that when we do the eastern part of this map, actually I'm probably not going to stream it, I'm probably just going to do it on my own, knowing me. I'll probably have that eastern part being a fun little excursion to the northeast, leading back to the, where does that lead actually? Oh, I guess it just leads to this crossed road. So, alright, yeah, I think we've accomplished everything we need to accomplish here. The only thing I need to do is write down the key. Here, and I'll write down a name too. So we will do... what's the font I like again from this? I think it's Amarante. There we go. So we can type in... the village of Ragoon. And then over here, you can type, and I like to use this separate for the key. 1 square equals 20 feet. Perfect, okay. Yeah, I think we've accomplished everything we need to accomplish here. So, thanks everyone who tuned in. I had a lot of fun actually doing this stream. I know it didn't draw on the greatest crowd in the world because I kind of started doing it at 9 with no real prompt, but this was really enjoyable. I had a good time. So thanks a lot everyone for watching, and I hope that you all have had a wonderful little time, much like I did with all this. Very, very fun, enjoyable experience. So, have a good night. See you later. Bye.